Hello and welcome to Newsday on the BBC. I'm Rico Hizon in Singapore.
And I'm Kasia in London. Our headlines this hour. America takes to the airwaves in Pakistan in an attempt to calm protests against an anti-Islam film. Strikes across India rejecting global supermarkets. The government insists the business is badly needed.
With life expectancy soaring and fertility rates plummeting, who will look after China's aging population? Counting the cost, how much could the dispute between Japan and China harm the already fragile global economy? It's 6 in the morning in Singapore.
And it's 11 in the evening in London. Broadcasting to viewers around the world, this is Newsday. Hello and welcome. The United States has spent about $70,000 on television advertising in Pakistan to counter tensions over an anti-Islamic film that led to protests across the Muslim world. The adverts, subtitled in Urdu, show news clips of President Obama talking about America's tradition of religious tolerance and the Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, saying that the US government rejected the content of the film and had nothing to do with it. The adverts aim to reach 90 million people. Well, the adverts were broadcast on another day of violent protests in the Pakistani capital, Islamabad. Thousands demonstrated against the low-budget anti-Islam film. Police fired tear gas and live rounds to disperse the crowds, which were trying to reach the heavily guarded diplomatic zone where most Western embassies are based. Well, for more on those adverts, we can cross over to Washington to speak to the BBC's Steve Kingstone. And Steve, just tell us more about the content of these adverts.
Well, it's interesting this because I think when the anti-Islam film surfaced last week, there was an initial perception here in the US that Pakistan really wasn't the country of greatest concern in terms of the reaction to that film. But that clearly has changed this week. There is obviously a mood of growing anger amongst some people in Pakistan. You showed some pictures of it there. And so the US has responded. The State Department has paid $70,000 to essentially place television adverts, they call them public service announcements, on 7 network channels in Pakistan, reaching a potential combined audience of 90 million people. The speakers, President Obama and Hillary Clinton, are speaking in English. Their words are subtitled in Urdu, the main language in Pakistan. And really the aim is to make it very, very clear that the US is a country that tolerates all religions and that the US government in no way supports the controversial film. Let's have a listen to this US government advert.
Since our founding, the United States has been a nation that respects all faiths. We reject all efforts to denigrate the religious beliefs of others.
Let me state very clearly, and I hope it is obvious, that the United States government had absolutely nothing to do with this video.
So that's Hillary Clinton in that advert, Steve. So the aim is to ease tensions there, but do you think that will work? And is this a kind of unprecedented move by the United States?
Well, it's certainly a unique move at the moment. This is the only country that the Americans have taken this kind of step with a direct advertising campaign. They say it's not unprecedented in Pakistan. After an earthquake there some years ago, the US government put out an advert offering help or advertising the help it was giving. But I think it's pretty clear that Pakistan is a special case because of its size, because of its involvement in what was called the War on Terror, the war in Afghanistan, because of the simmering and lingering tensions between America and Pakistan. And I think the administration here doesn't say this, but I think some people in America fear that, you know, the anger that we have seen and may still see on the streets in Pakistan, while being principally about this anti-Islam film and defending the Prophet Muhammad, might also be a vehicle for more general anti-American sentiment. So I think that's why you've seen Pakistan targeted specifically. Will it work? Well, it's going to reach a large audience. The message is certainly going to get across, but I think most commentators here think that this is a case of trying to limit potential damage, and there is some concern, I think, for what may unfold in the coming days.
Okay, fascinating stuff. Steve Kingstone in Washington, thank you very much.